Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So, good afternoon, everybody. How are you guys doing? It's been a while. I think I last did a Facebook Live about a month ago. And I noticed that some of these things we need to take time and prepare for them so that we give a good package. Phoebe Kalega, you are very welcome. Now, while I was doing my work, one of my friends came to me and said, Belinda, your talks on branding are not complete until you do a talk on personal branding. And I absolutely agree. We were looking at, we were addressing the issues that were happening then, the shift of the customer, the need for us to brand our businesses, the need for us to change our strategic direction. But then we forget, maybe we ignored the fact that we are the most important people in the branding process. Yes, Jackie Asimwe, thank you so much for inspiring me to do this Facebook Live. And thank you so much for watching and supporting me. Natasha Epenyu, you're welcome. Sound and picture are clear. Great. So I was saying that, yes, we had not had a chance to talk about personal branding. Rosette Namolindwa. I went to school with Rosette. Welcome, Rosette. Please call all your friends. It's going to be quite a discussion this afternoon. Okay, without going back and forth. So this is what I was saying. In the previous talks, we've talked about the customer, we've talked about our businesses, we've talked about strategic direction, we've talked about the need for entrepreneurs to have the fundamentals of branding, because whatever strategy that you make comes out through branding. Branding is what brings your strategic direction to life. And branding is more than just a logo. Like I tell the students in my branding class, branding is more than just a logo. It's more than just the colors. It is more than just the beautiful words that you put out there. Branding is about the promises that you make to the customer and the things that you do to fulfill those promises. That is what the branding process is about. Now, while we are going about all these aspects of branding our businesses, what about us as human beings? Okay, so when I was preparing for this chat, I noticed that there was so much to cover. We wouldn't be able to cover it in 40 minutes. I don't want to make this video very long. So what I've done is I've written snippets of articles and status updates over the last 2 weeks, trying to prepare you for this engagement. So if I've not covered something if I don't cover something in this discussion, please go back on my timeline and read the articles that I've written. Some of them are thoughts from my mind. Some of them are questions that I would like you to think about so that you can get an idea of what the whole personal branding aspect is about. So it's such a wide subject, I'm not able to cover it in 40 minutes. So I noticed by doing bits and pieces along the way, I will be able to put out as much information as I can. So please look for those snippets. They're available on my wall. And in the spirit of personal branding, before I even start to talk about it, many people have been asking me to put Ondaba on the face mask. I know you love the brand, and thank you very much for the interest that you have in the brand. But I'll tell you now, guys, you need to understand the essence of your brand. The essence of the Ondaba brand is celebratory. We want you to use the Ondaba brand when you are achieving stuff, when you're celebrating good moments, when you are traveling the world and conquering the spaces of your career, okay? So Ondaba is about happiness, it's about achievements, it's about good moments. Now, putting the Ondaba brand on a face mask does not balance out well. The brand doesn't fit on the item of the face mask. So that is why you will not see a face mask with the Ondaba brand, because the essence of the Ondaba brand does not allow it to be on a face mask. A face mask is not something to be excited about. It doesn't show that you are achieving. It's connected to everything we know about this situation, okay? So we do not want to have a relic that reminds us of something that comes into, that does not align with the essence of the Ondaba brand. So we will not put Ondaba on a face mask. But still in the same spirit of the Ondaba brand, we have come up with some branding. We played around with the word mask, and we came up with a question. Ask me about anything, okay? Ask me about anything. Ask is a call to action. You're telling the person who is looking at you to ask you about anything. So what do you want them to ask you about? They can ask you about Uganda. They can ask you about Kampala. They can ask you about your personal brand. They can ask you about the causes that you love. If you like, if you're passionate about women's rights or children's rights or business or baking, you can put that call to action on the face mask. So it is still in the spirit of being seen, because if you don't see me, you won't be able to ask me a question. But we will not put the Ondaba brand on a face mask. So I have made some here that have asked me about branding. And if there are any branding people listening to me right now, I will be giving you some for you to wear. And if you would like to get some for your brands, for your profession, or for the activities that you care about, please do get in touch with us. I'll be giving you details later. So that is done with. So while I am giving you all these covers, there are people who joined in. Uncle Philip, you're welcome. And okay, Barbara Kirunda, you're welcome as well. And Jenny Ailini, my OG, you are welcome. So let's get into it. When we talk about brands, we are building value. We are building value. I remember saying that we are all brands on the shelf, okay? And we have value. And then I asked you, what value do you have? If you are a brand on the shelf, would I pick you when I'm doing my shopping? Okay, so we are all brands in whatever aspect we are, through our professions, through the things that we do for the community, or even the jobs where we work. We all have value, and that is what we bring to the market. So there's a shelf of professions. There's a shelf of personalities. There's a shelf of leaders. There's a shelf of anything that you can imagine, and people come shopping around looking for value. So when we are building brands, we build value. And what is the purpose of this value? We build this value so we can exchange it. Okay, so you build your branding skills so you can exchange them for money. You build your legal, for the lawyers, you build your legal skills so you can exchange them for a service. If you're a doctor, you build your medical skills so you can maybe start a hospital. If you're an accountant, if you're a writer, if you're an artist, you build the value of your skills so that you can trade them. Let me use the word trading, okay? When people call me and ask for a consultation, I'm trading my value. I'm giving them my value and they are paying me, okay? So the purpose of building brands is so that we can exchange them for value, or we can also exchange, we exchange them for value, or we exchange them for partnerships. If you're seeking to partner with somebody, there'll have to be a measure of equity. Do you balance out? I recall when I was at the agency, we were doing work with musicians. I learned that I need to learn to drink water. When I was at Moringa, and we were doing work for Club had a program for local artists, and we had to identify the artists to work with. We worked with Juliana Kanyomozi, we worked with Maurice Kiria, we worked with quite a number of artists. And for us to choose these artists for partnership, we had to look at their brand value. Is the brand value in tune with, is their brand value as artists in tune with the brand value of the product that we want to partner with? So the first one is we build brand value for exchange, and the second one, we build brand value for partnerships. Okay, then we also build brand value for collaboration. If you're seeking, maybe your company is seeking to work with another company, or maybe you are a consultant and you need to give your services, or maybe it's a country that needs to partner with another country, that is collaboration. They will still look at the aspects of brand value. And then the other, which is very common right now, consideration. We build brand value for consideration. We have friends who are standing for political office, okay? They are seeking consideration from the electorate so that the electorate can trust them to go and represent them in parliament. But the candidates who win will be the ones who have taken time to build their personal brand value, okay? And it's at this point that I would like to think about 3 of my friends who are standing for political office, and I honestly want to dedicate this Facebook Live to them. Rita Atukwasa, she's standing for MP Mbarara South. My friend Stella Nyanzi, I went to school with Stella and all her sisters in Gayaza. I support you, Stella. She's standing for Woman MP in Kampala. And also my client, Dixon Skatishumba, who is standing for MP in Shema Municipality. Now, I'll say this. These guys are my friends, and it is the first time in my life I am having friends, close friends, who are standing for political office. I'll tell you what, I know these guys. I know they are good at what they do. They deliver on their functional value. They are good. They create impact. And even before we associate them with political parties, as individuals, they are firebrands. So I want to reach out to you, my friends, and I want to say I believe in you. I believe in your power to lead. I believe in your ability to transform the communities. And I also believe in your ability to create impact. And I pray that you win. Okay, so those are the reasons why we build brands. 1, to exchange value. The second one is for partnership, and then for collaboration and for consideration. Now, this Facebook Live is about 5 ways you can build your personal brand strategically. I add the word strategically, and I will explain towards the end of this live. Okay, now there are 5 things that you need to do, basic things. First of all, we all need to realize that we are not the only people in our professions. I'm not the only branding person in Kampala, okay? I am not the only branding person in Kampala. You are not the only lawyer in Kampala. You're not the only doctor. You're not the only news reader. You are not the only whatever politician, whatever profession that you can think of. Because we are not the only brand on the shelf. We are with others. We have to be very intent about the activities that we do to build our personal brand. Now, the first one, which is very important, is to grow our skills. Our skills. What do you do? What do you do for a living, for example? Everybody should have something that they do, because you have there's a plan for your life, and there are so many things that you can do to add value to the community around you. Okay, so what do you do? What is your profession? And how do you do your profession? The way you build value in your profession is to make sure that you emerge as the best person in that profession. So read widely, okay? Subscribe to all the associations that they are in your profession. Get all the information, get the latest innovation, get onto forums, get onto boards where your profession is being discussed. Emerge to be the best person in your profession. That is what will set you apart. Now, it's not enough for you to be the best person academically. You must do your work well. Because our work is our self-portrait. The Baganda says something like omukono, like your craft. If all of us were to paint something, some people's craft will be easily identified. So we all have a self-portrait of our work. Your work is your self-portrait. So what are you doing? How are you doing your work? Are you delivering on your promises? If you tell someone that I will do X, Y, and Z, do you actually do it? Okay, so our work is what actually contributes to a lot of the value that people buy from us. Our work needs to stand out. Our work needs to be different. Our work needs to be conclusive. When you are seeking solutions, do you seek conclusive solutions? You know, if you don't seek conclusive solutions for the needs in your community, you will leave your clients hanging, and you will not have created an impact, or you will not be able to influence. So find ways in which you can do your work so that you offer conclusive solutions and you don't leave gaps. When you leave gaps, you are creating spaces for loopholes. That's the word. You're creating loopholes for other people to come and take advantage of work that you have done. So find ways to do your work, find ways to give complete solutions. So that is it about your work. And now, as you are doing your work, there's what they call emotional value. Emotional value is how you connect with the people around you. Do you have sympathy? Do you care? Do you reach out? Do you listen? Because people remember these things. There's been an incident of an MP over the weekend who had an issue at his house. But I was amazed that most of his friends came out and said, he is a nice guy. He is generous. He listens and he looks after people. His emotional value is high in spite of everything that he has done. So the emotional value that you build is how you relate with people. How are your relationships? That too adds a lot to your brand value generally. Okay. Then the next thing that you need to do is to understand the needs in your community. Your value is going to be bought by people who have needs. So what are the needs in your community? You need to say, okay, people here need branding services, they need legal services, they need waste fix services, they need plants, they need writing services, they need someone to represent them in parliament. You need to put your ear onto the ground so that you know what needs are available in your community, so that you can position yourself. Okay, understanding the needs around you is also very important. Then you need to communicate your value. If you say that you are a lawyer, make sure everybody who can buy value from you understands that Irene is a lawyer. Okay, because some of us are on social media and your friends don't know what you do. If they are seeking for consultation, they will never think about you. It's because you never talk about it. So when you are writing in these lounges on social media, communicate the fact that you do a certain profession so that your friends can start matching you to the value that you offer. You need to learn how to communicate the value that you offer in the different audiences where you will go and exchange your value. And then, of course, there's the aspects of leadership. Okay, as you build your functional value, as you build your emotional value, as you communicate your needs, strive so much to be an opinion leader in your area of operation. Sarah Kajingo, you're welcome. Leadership is holding the flag and moving ahead of everyone, encouraging people, picking them up, and offering help. That is the purpose of leadership, because when you do that, you are communicating that I know what I am doing. I'm the best person in this field. Colin, you're welcome. This is so powerful. His focus centered on Baku and anchored in principle. Thank you so much for doing this. Colin is one of the best ads people that I know. Every time I'm stuck, I run to Colin because he has grounded himself in his profession. Okay? And you're offering leadership in the area where you operate is going to set you apart. So find ways to lead with your opinions, with your actions, but most especially lifting everyone around you. You cannot be alone. For your industry to grow, you have to lift people. Okay? You can't be the only shining star. And you can only lift people through leadership, by holding their hand, by giving them direction, by giving them hope, and by comforting them. So leadership is important as well. And then, of course, we need to learn how to collaborate. You can't work alone, okay? You cannot work alone. You need to find other people who add value to your brand, okay? So as a branding person, I must find designers, I need to find writers, I need to find salespeople. Now, me going out to look for those skills, I am collaborating with people and adding value to them as well, so that you still don't look like you're the only one. You cannot grow alone. You need to find ways to lift everybody up with you, because most of us are usually afraid of the fact that maybe people will copy my ideas, or they will steal my opportunities. I believe everyone is born with their blueprint. There is no one who can do work the way that you do it. There is nobody. There is no one who brands like Nomad. Nobody does work like Nomad Advertising. There is no one who does advocacy like Jackie Asimwe. You cannot copy Jackie. You have to be, even her sisters, born of the same mother and father, they cannot be like Jackie. So let's not worry about people stealing our ideas and our opportunities. We are unique. So let us collaborate and lift others up. So I've mentioned 5 things. The first one is build value. Building value is your functional and emotional value. Functional value is the things that you do, your profession, and how you do it. Offer complete solutions. Emotional value, offer care, listen to people, show empathy, so that your emotional value can grow. Then the second one is understand the needs in your community. When you understand the needs in your community, you will be able to position your brand value so that you can exchange it, you can partner, you can collaborate, and you can be considered for whatever positions that you have. And then the third one is leadership. Leadership is being the opinion leader in your industry. Leadership is lifting others up. Leadership is offering hope to the people around you. And then the fourth one is collaboration, is work with others. So those are the 5 ways, things that you can do to build your brand. Now, I told you that this talk is about building your personal brand strategically. Now, all of us can go and do all these things that I have shared with you. But then what is going to differentiate me from Athien or Claire? Claire, you're welcome. And Nahawe, Alexandria, Isabella, you're also welcome. What is going to set me apart from all the branding people in this town? What is going to set you apart? The strategic direction to your personal branding is for you to be different. And how will you be different? Through innovation. Innovation is saying, okay, there are 100 lawyers, but I am going to choose to be different. Now, I am not a lawyer, so I don't know how lawyers can do innovation, but just stop for a minute and say, this is how everybody offers this service, but how can I do it differently? Innovation is what sets us apart. Innovation is the strategy of setting your brand, your personal brand apart. Innovation. Even in this time of COVID-19, the brands that are going to stand out are those that have taken time to innovate. Innovation is the strategic value for your personal brand, and it is what sets you apart from everyone else in your field. Okay, so that is it, guys. If Akasasa, you're not late, you can watch the video again. That is what we had to discuss today. I don't know if you guys have any questions. I have not seen any questions. Oh, someone was telling me to look into the camera. I'll tell you what, guys, when you're doing a Facebook Live, sometimes you look at yourself and then you want to look at yourself, but the truth of the matter is I'm supposed to look at the camera. Irene, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for cautioning me. Oh, okay, what did I just do? Okay, so do we have any questions? Athenokla is saying, I didn't even know I needed strategic direction in my personal branding. Yes, you need to be, because Atheno, I've seen on Facebook, you do meat cuts. You do meat cuts, okay? You do meat cuts, but how many people in this town do meat cuts? Now I'm talking about your brand, not your personal brand, okay? How many people in this town do meat cuts? So the question to you is, how are you going to do your meat cuts differently? Yeah, that is the strategic direction. Jackie's asking, Belinda, how do you determine your value? Oh, yes, Jackie, that's a very important question and something that I probably missed to say right at the start. All our value is grounded in our purpose, okay? I have not done coaching on how to help you discover your purpose, but our purpose is what aligns with our brand value to take us forward. If I did not discover that I am supposed to do brands and communication, I would be moving around not knowing what to do, okay? But I know my purpose. My purpose is to build brands. I wake up, I think about brands. I can write about brands. I can create even in my sleep. That is my purpose. So now what I needed to do is to align my purpose now to the value. Now back to Jackie's question. How do you determine your brand value? You determine your brand value by the response you get. Am I answering that right? Did I understand your question well, Jackie? How do you determine your brand value? Jackie, please ask your question again. I do not want to give you an answer that is not in context, but I've given you ways to build your value. Now, after building your value, you need to measure. When you build your brand value and say, for me to become a writer, I am going to write 5 blogs every week. You are going to measure your value of being a writer by the engagement you get from those blogs, for example. If you say, my value is going to be, I'm building my value to be the best dentist in this town or the best lawyer, then the quickest way to determine your value is going to be how many clients you have, or maybe the recognition that you're getting in your industry. Can people see you? Can people refer you? Referrals are very important. If people say, if you want something to do about women's rights, go to Jackie, that means they've seen your banner and they are recommending, they are referring you. Okay, so they have seen your leadership, they have seen your banner, and they are referring you to other people. So customers are a measure of value. And then also, when you're doing your brand value, there are things that you need to do to determine your impact and your influence. And that depends on your field. I don't know how lawyers do it, but I think I know what branding people do it. For me, one thing that gives me the confidence that I'm on the right path is when I create something and someone buys it, even if it is just one person. If I get conversion of my creativity into money, for me that's an indicator that my value has been received. If I don't get any conversion in terms of money, I know I need to do something. If I don't get responses to maybe the products I put out there, I know I have to keep on improving it. So Jackie, I hope I have tried to answer your question. Okay. Aligning purpose with value, interesting. Okay, so in the beginning you said I need to know our value as part of determining the brand. How does Jackie know her worth? Oh, okay. Your worth is grounded in your purpose. It's something I should have started with, but and I really apologize. There are people who are good at helping you find your purpose. When you find your purpose, you will have direction. You will know exactly what to do. Even when things fail, even when you don't get any customers, you will know that I just need to pivot in this area. But knowing your purpose is what keeps you grounded. Someone's purpose in life is like the strategic direction of an organization. When an organization decides and says, we are going to open up a branch in Gulu, opening up a branch in Gulu is a strategic direction, okay? And then the things that they do to build, to open up the brand in Gulu are what bring the strategic direction to life. Okay, so where are you going? What is your life purpose? Where do you want to go? The things that you're going to do to help you achieve your purpose are the things that we do to build brand value. I hope that is a bit clear. Okay, so Eva, you're saying, I think also how much you've invested in your intellectual capital can help you determine your value. You set the standard and people catch you up there. I hope I'm right there. Okay, that is true. But then ultimately, the purpose of building value is to connect. Okay, if you build your value and you don't connect with your stakeholders or with your target audiences, then there is something. Sometimes you build value for a wrong market, or you build value for needs that are not present. Okay, so you need to build your value in order to connect. Connect in terms of exchanging value, in terms of offering partnership, in terms of collaboration, or in terms of seeking consideration. Elena, you can measure value by how many people opt for the solution you bring into the market. You're very right, Elena. Okay, do we have any? Oh, Winston Mukasa, you're welcome. Purpose and direction. Okay, great. Doreen, you're saying strength of the brand as the consumer consumer perceive. Yeah, but don't allow the consumer, the customer, to perceive something you have not told them. That's why you need to communicate. Okay, some people might think otherwise. Tell people what you want them to think, or else they'll come up with something that they can imagine. So communication of your value is very important. Great. So guys, I'll bring this talk to an end. Thank you so much for allowing me into your lunchtime. I love doing these discussions. I'm in my element. They bring light in my life. They make my day. Okay, so let's keep this discussion going. Share the video to your friends who have not been able to watch it. You can post your questions here. I'll be able to answer them. And yes, we have these masks. Okay, you can put your brand or a cause you care about or your profession, so that people don't just look at you wearing a mask. They can actually come and ask you about your profession. That way you will be building your personal brand. So I'll let you know how you can get these as well. Brenda Naloyima, you're welcome. Yes, tell people what you want them to think. Yeah. Yes, tell people what you want them to think. Use your opportunity to communicate at every opportunity. Great, guys. It's the end of the month of September, and we've noticed an increase in the COVID-19 cases, and we want all of us to be happy so that we build our brands and we'll be able to achieve the value that we've built them for. So let us take caution. Let's wear our masks. Wear your mask at every opportunity, and tell everyone around you to put on their mask. Tell everyone around you to wash their hands for the recommended 20 seconds, like the Ministry of Health has shown us. And they should also sanitize. And I should also add, after watching a number of Isaac Rich's videos, that we need to boost our immunity. Yes, boost your immunity. Take those there are concoctions of garlic, ginger, turmeric, and black pepper to make sure that we are all safe. We take care of the children and we take care of the old people as well. So we will have another branding talk in September, and we are also launching something new in tomorrow. I hope you look out for that. Thank you so much for letting me into your lunchtime. I'll leave you to enjoy the rest of your day. Until next time, I wish you the very best. Stay safe, guys. Stay safe. Yeah, COVID is real, eh? Stay safe. Until next time, bye bye.